Hey y'all, hey, what's up? All right, so while I try to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with my nails, girl problems. I wanted to talk to you about a conversation I had with my bestie years ago. All right, so I'm gonna be looking down because I'm doing my nails. But let's have some girl time. Guys are welcome. Come on in. And she had made a comment to me before. She said, "You are one of the strongest people I know." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You don't let nothing get to you. You just I mean, you're just one of the strongest people I know," because she knows I've been through a lot. But here's the thing, you know, you don't see what goes on, like back in the day when I would have these breakdowns and stuff, and I would cry and cry and cry, and because of whatever it is I was going through at the time, usually marital problems, because as I told y'all before, narcissists don't give a damn about titles. Marriage is just a title to them. Being your girlfriend or boyfriend is just a title. It means absolutely nothing to them. All right? So when you finally come out of denial, or you're starting to periodically come out of denial, you go back in. Don't think you don't. And there was a term. There's a specific term for when you go in and out of denial like that. Okay, I forget what it's called. I have to go through my videos and see, because I think I talked about it. A specific term that you go in and out of denial. Anyway, so I have fallen apart. I have, when you realize that your life is unraveling because somebody that you're supposedly involved with doesn't really give a rat's ass. If you still love them, it's devastating. If you don't love them, you're like, okay, well, I can't wait until I don't have to look at your face anymore. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like when you buy clothes, you don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Okay? You do not see the hard work. You do not see people working and slaving over in the factories, and the blood, sweat, and tears, and the complications that come with the clothing line. And there's this problem and that problem and this problem and that problem. And there's a delay in the shipment, and you can't get the money rolling until it gets to the customer, to the whoever it is, the store or the mall, whatever. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes. By the time you see what's going on, the clothes look pretty and they're sitting on a hanger. It looks like there hasn't been problem the first. Clothes got made and thrown on thrown on the hanger, and all's well. When in reality, there's a whole lot that went on behind the scenes that you didn't know about. You're not really supposed to know about it. You're just supposed to know about looking at it, checking out the price, and seeing if that's what you want to go for. You don't see the problems behind the scenes. And so, you just see the end result. So you just think that this is how this person is. They're just totally unfazed. And that's not necessarily true. And it's kind of like when somebody passes away. There's a lot of people have told me that they didn't have time to grieve. They just did not have time to grieve. There was just too much to do. You have this estate stuff that's got to be done. You got this going on, that going on, and planning of the funeral home, whatever you got to do for the funeral home. I just had my tool in it. This happens to me all the goddamn time, and then you wonder why people freaking lose it. One of my tools is missing, and I just had it. Yay! That's not the tool. That's one of them, but that's not the one I use. You gotta be kidding me right now. You have to be kidding me right now. I hate when that happens. It drives me nuts. Anyway, I gotta find it. It's somewhere. I just had it. that wonderful land of somewhere. Anyway, when the person died, they didn't have time to grieve because there was just way too much technicalities that had to be handled. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry if I'm disappearing on you, but I'm trying to figure out where in the hell that went. Is this it? No, that's the old one. That's not the one I want. And this is the newer one, but where's the other one? Lordy. Oh, God. You know, I just love it. I just freaking love this shit. Anyway. So, again, you know, when the funeral comes and everything, and you still got the funeral, and everybody's got to get to the cemetery and the church and the cemetery. There's just so much that has to be done. People coming in from out of town. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, you know? And so, once everything is done and the person's actually buried and you've done the family spend time together thing and, you know, the rest of it, then it can start to, and everybody goes home, for sure, that's when it could start hitting you. You know, like, wow, holy crap, they're gone and it's permanent, you know? I can't find it. Am I not going to be able to finish my tools, finish my whatchamacallit because I can't find the tool? Are you kidding me? And I need that thing. I need it. Dang it, I fucking hate that. Anyway, son of a bitch. Fucking pisses me off. Just had it in my goddamn hands. Just freaking had it. Now I'm not really in a position to buy another one because the other one decided to do a hideaway mission. I don't really want to have to buy another one. God. Anyways, let me try to calm down. Losing my shit right now. Anyway, I'll just work with the old one because I can't find the goddamn fucking new one. I cannot tell you how much I can't stand when that happens. And it happens all the fucking time. All the time it happens. So you're going to see me. Just disappeared. So... Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm not on camera, sorry. You know, she never saw what was going on behind the scenes, so she has no idea. She, you know, I sat there and cried my eyes out over the sperm donor / supposed father. And he would never have, never would have dropped a tear for me. He had prostate cancer, and I was hysterical. Why? I don't know, because he didn't, here's my tool, god dang it. I told you I just had it. I'm not crazy. I know it was in my hand. Anyway, yeah, he had prostate cancer, and I cried my eyes out because they had, you know, told him, which they're required to tell you, that if you don't respond to medications, you could you know, the cancer can spread to your bones, and that could be it. And so I got off the phone with him, and I proceeded to lose my mind. This is before I fired him because I realized that he didn't really give a damn about nobody but himself. I had issues with my foot, and they were going to have to, you know, if it didn't heal correctly, they were going to want to go in there and re-break it and do all kinds of crap. And I was hysterical about that because God knows that's the last thing you want them to do. Okay, and I asked him, I was really freaked out about it, and I asked him to call me back, and he never did. And I started to put two and two together, and I started to realize that, you know what, this fool he wouldn't drop one tear for me. Why am I wasting all this energy on him? He never did return my call, because he's all about him. All about him. All about him, baby. And when you realize that that's never going to change, you are wasting a lot of energy. Okay? You're wasting a lot of energy on somebody that don't give two damns about you. You know, and some people stay close with their parent or family member or whoever because they think that when that person dies, they're going to get an inheritance. And because that person is evil, what makes you think they're all of a sudden going to be nice and leave you something in the will. They never were a good person. And you think that they're going to all of a sudden develop a conscience. Really? Really? So, and she could have, his wife, who's like, you know, recovering alcoholic and all this other, she could have not given him the message. I mean, that's a strong possibility too, because she's sick, she's dysfunctional too. And you just get to a point where you're like, you know what? The hell with both yous. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember saying that at one point, and we didn't talk for years after that. And of course, eventually, I just didn't. We worked it out because I think because my grandpa died or something, so we kind of were squeezed together during that time and all this. But I don't know. I'm stronger now. Not saying I don't feel the roller coaster of emotions when somebody's playing me, because I do. But some people just don't ever get mad. They're just a rollover. You know, I know you're abusive, but I'm gonna still take care of you because I'm gonna do the right thing. Right thing for who? The right thing for who? Somebody who has no respect for you, somebody that wouldn't drop a bottle of water on top of you if you were on fire, and you are still breaking your neck for them. And it's just puzzling to me. It's just really puzzling. And I think, honestly, to be quite honest, I think that people that do that need to go to therapy quickly. And I'm not joking. I'm so serious, because something is wrong with your thought process that you think that that's okay. That you think it's okay for people to treat you like crap, or you're not okay with it, but you're still going to roll over. That's not. Mm-mm. 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 You got to develop some kind of strength, and you have to stop thinking that therapy is a bad thing, because it's not. It's good for you. Therapy is good for you, and it'll teach you boundaries. If you ever go to Lee Hammock's page, you will see on any of his playlist videos, you will see where he talks about boundaries, honey. And he's a narcissist, and he's trying to teach you how to have boundaries. Because you forgive and you forgive and you forgive, and you get back with this person, and then the abuse is worse. And, you know, one lady last night, I guess I told you this, she said that he tried to take her out of here. He tried to unalive her many times. So what does she do? Keep going back. And I don't know, like, are you hoping he actually succeeds? Why are you? Oh my God. You know, you have to imagine it this way. You need to imagine that you've got a vulnerable little kid inside of you. And it's your responsibility to take care of that little somebody inside of you. The little mini me inside of you, it's your responsibility to take care of that person. It's your responsibility. It's not just something that's good to do. It's something that you're supposed to do. You know? If your boss is mean and abusive and hateful, it's your responsibility to eventually get the heck up out of there. Sure, you can report them to HR, but don't think that's going to go anywhere. I mean, it may or it may not. I mean, in the meantime, start looking for another job, because you don't have to put up with that crap for a paycheck. You don't need to be abused for a paycheck. You just have to have boundaries. And if you don't have any, you are a sitting duck. You're just, I don't know. It's never going to stop. The abuse that you're enduring will never stop until you quit breathing. Do you want to wait until it gets to that point? I'm just asking. Way too many people have lost their lives because the person just didn't take them seriously enough. They didn't get mad. They didn't get frustrated. They put up with more and more and more abuse, and they just refused to go anywhere until they were forced. Because when you When you're no longer breathing, you're forced to break up with this person. It's finally done. But do you want to break up that way, or do you want to do it while you're still breathing? Because there's plenty of people 6 feet under who thought, oh, that's so dramatic. It's not going to get to that point. You could predict a future now. Let me tell you what happens with that. You know, present behavior is indicative of present behavior is indicative of past behavior. So if there's been hatefulness before, why would you think that person's all of a sudden going to be a good person? You've already seen what they're capable of. I know I told this lady a long time ago. She said she was being stalked by some dude she used to be involved with, and me, her, and another person were talking, and they said, well, you better get the police involved and get a restraining order and this and that. And she said, oh, I don't think it'll go that far. You don't? Have you not seen, were you there when the person was mean to you and horrific to you? Were you present at all? I mean, come on. And here's where it gets real dangerous, okay? With a person who is really off the deep end, as in psychotic. When they get something in their head, and I've seen a movie about, not a movie, my bad, a documentary about it, actually, reenacted, of course, but it was actual crime that had taken place. He tried to take her out of here because he had it in his mind, and this is, signs you're dealing with a psychotic person. They have something in their mind, and there's not a freaking thing, even though there's no proof of what they're saying, they're convinced that what they're saying is true. So he was convinced, this couple, he was convinced that she was cheating, and he was convinced that his sons were not his. They look just like him. What do you mean those aren't your sons? Anybody can see that. Anyway, so he got it in his head. Those are not my kids, and who were you cheating with, and you're nothing but a you know what, and this name and that name. And who were you cheating with? Who are you cheating with? Those are not my boys. He's just delusional. And when a person is psychotic like that, there's nothing that you could say that's going to make them get an aha moment, because they're not dealing with a full deck of cards, okay? So, who are you cheating with? Who are you cheating with? Who do those kids belong to? And he went off and went off and went off and went off. And it got worse and worse and worse. And he, the fight went from in the house into the garage, and he set her on fire. He set her on fire. And the neighbor happened to be outside and heard the commotion and went to her rescue. And of course, he was in the wind, because all bullies are cowards. He was in the wind. And she helped save, the neighbor helped save her life. And she's remarried now to somebody who don't trip off her scars. Her face is disfigured. He don't care. She got a good heart. And he loves her. They don't make them like that no more. Dudes are always eager to find a reason to escape you, okay? Especially after they get what they want from you, if you know what I mean. He wasn't like that. He actually loved her. She was at the time of the, way after this happened, and dude went to jail and everything. She met somebody else, and at that time they were engaged. So I'm sure they're married now, and everything is good. But that's how far to the left page it could go. He had it in his mind, those are not my kids. You cheated on me. You're a whore. This, that, and the other. There's not a darn thing you could say that's going to change his mind, because he's delusional. And it was just a mess. A complete mess. So don't say, that's a dangerous thing for you to say, oh, it won't go that far. That's a dangerous mentality. You want to prepare for the worst, because especially if you've already seen indications of, them not having a full deck of cards. Okay? Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Do not think dangerously. Think the worst case scenario. What if this happened? And that's where critical thinking comes in. Don't do that. Don't do that either. Darn it. That's where critical thinking comes in. If this happens, then what? If that happens, then what? What if this happens, If I get involved with this person who has a horrific temper, or they're too charming, way too charming, if they flip out, what will happen then? What will I do? I'm seeing red flags. What do I do when I see red flags? I need to get out of here is what I need to do. Because red flags are warnings. You know how you see a sign that it's a symbol of hazmat, dangerous chemicals and this and that. There's symbols for that, signs for that. Red flags are your signs. So if you proceed, who only knows where this is going to go? Life is too short. And here is an easy thing to remember. And I want you to never forget these words. As long as you live, I don't want you to ever forget these words that I'm about to tell you. Okay? A good person wants you happy. Let me repeat that. A good person wants you happy in your relationship. A bad person wants you unhappy. They want you happy in the beginning while they're pretending to be a nice person. And then when I take my mask off and stop being a phony piece of garbage, you will see the real me. And by then, I hope you have feelings for me to the point where you can't walk away because you've got feelings for me. So then I know you're trapped. And then when you're trapped, I can treat you even worse. Because you're hooked. And you're irrational because you're hooked. And I like that you're irrational because it gives me permission to do whatever the hell I want to do. So a good person wants you happy. And a bad person wants you miserable. Once you get that into your head, you will realize who's good for you and who's not, and who you need to get rid of. Because it doesn't get better, it gets worse. When they stop being phony, and God knows they put every ounce, and I mean every ounce of energy into being super phony. Okay? They are a fraud. A massive fraud. Good people want you happy. Bad people want you miserable. They want you happy in the beginning so you could get hooked. And then they yank the rug from under your feet. How many years? I think people's biggest mistake, and I've talked about this before, people's biggest mistake is they think they have time. Unlimited time. I got plenty of time to find somebody. I got plenty of time. We got plenty of time to work this relationship out. One day they'll realize how bad they are to me and they'll start treating me better and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. You've had time with them and they've proven to you that they are not worth 5 pennies you can rub together. So how much more time do you need before you realize that you are wasting your time? And that goes for y'all to have a crush on somebody. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. You're actually a good person. You're not a narcissist and phony fake. You're actually a good person. You got a crush on your best friend or whoever it is you have a crush on, and you think you have plenty of time to tell them, yes, they date other people, but eventually I'll get my turn. What if they fall in love with somebody else and you never bothered to tell them how you feel, and now they're in love with somebody else, that person's in love with them, and it's too late. We always think we have time. Plenty of time to sit on our hindies and not do anything. Plenty of time for this relationship to go back to the phony good it was in the beginning, but you didn't know it was phony. We have all this time. Eventually, through time, it'll get better. Nope, 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 nope. No, it won't. No, it won't. Sometimes time is not your friend, and sometimes you're wasting time with the wrong damn person, and the good person is waiting on you, and you jacking around with this one over here. I told you I coached a guy who, I haven't seen him since or talked to him since, but he wants to get back with his ex-girlfriend who's a liar and a drughead. Well, shit, sign me up for that. That's what I want too. Not. I mean, he doesn't have any boundaries, right? Somebody lying to you is okay to you? Then you need to ask yourself, why is that okay? Why do you not have boundaries? Why do you not have love for yourself? Why do you not protect that vulnerable person inside of you? Why do you not protect them? Why? And for people who have kids, you really got to protect yourself, because you need to be in tip-top shape in order for you to take care of your children. But how are you going to take care of them when you can't even take care of you? Because you're in this toxic relationship and you're teaching your children how to have toxic relationships. You should be a mother bear. You're getting out of my life, and you are not going to poison my damn children with your horrible behavior. You're going to get the hell up out of my life. No, absolutely no. You think you have a lot of time. I'm going to stay with this person and we're going to work it out. We already put in 10 years. Right, and how well did that work for you? Because they've already revealed that they're not a good person. They revealed that to you, and you still insist on being involved with them. Why? Why? I'm not the strongest person, but I am stronger than I ever was. And the only reason I am, and let me tell you something. This is where a lot of my strength comes, just in case you're curious. When you're the people that's supposed to love you the most, right? Your parents. When they don't love you and you have to cut them off because of it, if you're smart, you'll cut them off. They don't love you. They're going to leave you to the lions and eat popcorn and watch you get eaten by the lions and probably laugh because they hate you anyway. Ooh, look at those purple. Ooh. Anyway, when you have to cut your family off, I'll show you these in a minute. Oh my God, they're stunning. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need therapy. Something's seriously wrong with me. Oh my God, those are gorgeous. Anyway, wow, 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 wow. Okay, I've already done those. All right. Anyway, when you have to cut your family off, which is the hardest separation that you will ever have, one of the hardest, because that's your family, for God's sake, you know what I mean? When you have to cut them off, that is the worst pain. Some of the worst emotional pain that you will ever go through in your life when you have to cut your whole family off. But for my own sanity, what choices did I have, okay? What choices did I have? So, I am not going to get emotional. I don't care what y'all say. But it kind of, it's the worst thing, but the best thing, because I protected myself. I got away from their toxicity. Um, and I refuse to tolerate it anymore. I'm done. I don't give a damn what y'all do. I'm freaking done. Okay. But it helps you because it's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Some of the hardest things you'll ever have to do is cut your family off. It's just so hard. It sets you up to be a hell of a lot stronger to cut other people off. Now, is it easy to cut off your partners regardless of having to cut your family off? Is it easy? No. There is such a thing as a trauma bond. There is. But you got to learn how to stop being so nice, and you got to learn how to stop being a throw rug where you just let people run all over you and you perfectly okay with it. Well, he didn't mean it or she didn't mean it, and everybody has stress, and his mom just died, so of course he's stressed out. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. If somebody treats you like shit, it's because they want to. Do you understand that? If they treat you like shit, it's because they want to. A good person wants you happy. A toxic person wants you happy in the beginning until they reveal who the hell they really are. And I compare Kyle, who lost his wife. Those of you who know, I told you my friend Kyle was losing his wife, okay? And what am I doing? I don't know. He lost his wife, and he wanted her happy at all times. Because he's a good man. He's a good man. He's not a psychopathic narcissist. He's not a narcopath. His wife's channel, she died from cancer, but his wife's channel is called Jenny Apple. And he works with adults who have issues, like I don't know if they're autistic or I don't know, but they're adults that require, they're special needs. That's the word. I'm like grasping for straws at the word. He works with adults with special needs. He has a big heart. And he's a good man. He's a good man. And when she was having times where she was getting depressed because she was terminally ill. They tried all these different procedures. Nothing works. Chemo, radiation, nothing worked. She had brain cancer and lung cancer. Okay. And this is the difference between a good person and a bad person. Okay. When she was going through a spell of, oh God, I'm dying, I'm terminal, I'm not going to see my kids grow up and this and that, you know what I mean? He's the type, and he did do this a couple of times. He planned a surprise vacation for her to cheer her up. He did that on more than one occasion. That's the difference between a toxic individual and a not toxic person. A toxic person would see you cry because you're dying of cancer. You're over here crying. The TV's over here. They're sitting here and the TV's there. They'll go, and keep watching TV. And you don't want to escape that? You must be crazy. Everything you go through, every disease that you would ever think of, from diabetes to cancer, to liver failure, to kidney failure, to abnormalities in your body. Your heart doesn't beat correctly. They have to give you a pacemaker. You have vascular issues. You have whatever the heck is wrong with you. You're going to have to deal with it by yourself. By yourself. If you're with a toxic ass motherfucker. And you're going to sit here and still be nice to them. Stop it. For the love of God, stop it. If you have any love for yourself at all, you will snap out of it. And you will dump this demon. Any disease that you think of, you will have to deal with it by yourself. And when his wife was dying of cancer, it gets me emotional because I love them. I love them. They're just beautiful people, okay? I loved her too, and she passed away, and she's a sweetheart. She was just a freaking sweetheart. I love his kids. I love them. I never thought that I would love somebody I never met. He has a daughter and son, Ellis and Winnie. He held her until she died. He literally held her in his arms until she died. A toxic person ain't doing that for you. You must be out of your mind. They ain't doing that for you. They ain't doing that for you. Do not learn the hard way. When you're on your deathbed, you have to deal with it by yourself. I know of a son of a bitch who's a narcissist. He got a nerve to be on a dating site. The audacity to be on a goddamn dating site. When his wife, he got separated from his wife. And this goes to show you how toxic people are. His wife, they were separated. She moved in with her parents. They weren't divorced, they were separated. She's dying of cancer. Don't you know that son of a bitch brought other women to the parents' house while the daughter is dying? His soon to be, well, they didn't get a divorce because she died. At least as far as I remember, she was terminal, so, there won't be a divorce. It'll be a divorce through death, if you know what I mean. He brought other women to his mother-in-law and father-in-law's house. That's what you want to sign up for? That's what you want to sign up for? Because you have zero love for yourself? Please get in therapy, and get in therapy faster than you can blink your eyes, because this is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. You don't have to worry about somebody being an enemy to you because you're an enemy to you. You are an enemy to you. You won't protect yourself. Some of y'all. For those of you who do, I'm damn proud of you, because you gotta get to the point where you're like, I am sick and goddamn tired of this shit. I'm done. You gotta reach that point. For those of you that never reached that point, get in therapy. Get in therapy, and get in therapy ASAP. Every disease you think of, you'll be dealing with that shit by yourself. If God forbid anything happened to your health, you're screwed. Everybody's not a Kyle. Okay? And don't find that out the hard way, okay? Don't find that out the hard way. I told y'all about a nurse who, her patient was a bodybuilder. Some of y'all remember this. And he got mad at the nurse for whatever reason, and he decided to haul off and punch her in the head. He hit her. She not only had a concussion, but she had post-concussion syndrome. I believe that's what it's called. So she's got complications as a result of that happening to her. How about her husband doesn't give a shit? That's what y'all want to sign up for? I'm telling you right now, get your asses in therapy. I cannot be more serious than I am right now. If you have zero love for yourself, and you have zero way of protecting yourself, and you don't know how to do it, and you just can't, and you can't, get in therapy. Get in a support group. I don't care. There are support groups that are free. Do it. Because like I said, you're an enemy to you. If you just won't stop this, you're an enemy to yourself. And it's dangerous. Let's end on a happier note. You want to see my purple? I don't know if I'm going to do purple. I love it dearly, but I don't know if I'm going to do it because I have other options too, so I don't know. But look at those. You see the glitter? I know. I am just like out there. Some of these are outrageously expensive. And these have been out for years. Why are you charging that much? Why the fuck are you charging that much? I'm cussing because I'm sick of this shit. Why are you charging that much? These are not brand new to the market. They've been out for years. Why are you doing this? And the ones that don't sell that well those are the ones that they put on sale because they're not guaranteed to make a lot of money, so they put them on sale. Well, you should have them on decent price anyway. Some of them are $16, $17. I see one for $9, baby. I'm going for it. 16, almost $20 for nail wraps. You must be out of your god dang flipping mind. Highway robbery. Highway robbery. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This isn't brand new, is it? That can't be brand new. Is it? I don't think it is. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. I closed those thinking that when you open them, they go bad within a month, and they don't. They just tell you that. Seal them up pretty good. You can, but you don't really have to seal them up. It's totally up to you. Anyway, so I'm going to find out what the hell I'm going to do with these nails after all. Figure it out. But yeah, get some help immediately if you have zero desire to protect yourself. You need help immediately. And I'm serious. I'm not exaggerating. I'm serious. You need help right now. Now. Today. Now. I get tired of it and I start losing my mind. I start getting real angry because I'm like, oh no. No. I'm about sick and tired of your ass. So yeah. All right. Y'all take care. Much love, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.